This ain't rock and roll. This is Bowiesplaining.
Wow.
Yeah. As bad as that was, it felt better than the other thing.
Yeah, let's avoid the other one.
Yeah. Because there's plenty of it happening in the world right now. Anyway, hi, welcome to Bowiesplaining.
Thank you.
Is the podcast. Yes, welcome. Have a seat. This is the podcast where we talk about, you get the idea. You saw the title. I'm Dan. That's Eric over there. Hello. There we go. That's it. We are about to do side A of Scary Monsters.
Whew.
An album that
Super creeps.
And those super creeps as well. An album that may have become one of my favorites upon this re-listening and contextualizing, reconsidering.
Yeah, something happened over the last week here.
Mm-hmm. So just a thing about my process that I've been using is I have whatever opinions
Dan goes to whatever AI, whatever black market AI he uses, and he says, "Clowns?" ?
No, that is actually the opposite of my process. What you're seeing and hearing is, believe it or not, the result of probably about 6 to 12 hours of conversations with. I did create Bowie bot on ChatGPT a while ago. And again, it's not just like you are David Bowie. It's like I filled it with all sorts of stuff, training and whatnot to where it's actually kind of having a conversation with someone who has a lot of knowledge and a lot of background with this.
And Dan knows a thing or two about being kind of David Bowie.
Yeah, we won't get into that quite yet.
No,
but
we've done it. We'll leave it alone. Today is about reinvention.
Exactly. So I have been sort of having this conversation essentially with a version of myself. Let's face it.
Where you're looking into just eist recording.
Yes.
Okay.
And some things have kind of revealed themselves, real or not, it feels real. And that's kind of the point of this whole thing anyway.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Why else would we be doing this?
Exactly. So before we get into Scary Monsters, I want to admit what I haven't got. Last night I didn't get a ton of sleep, so you're going to know some stumbles. I forgot that an album called Stage exists, which is him performing live after Heroes.
Oh, so that's like an in-betweener.
It's an in-betweener. Okay. So I just made the executive decision that is going to be like our immunity token when things get really rough between tonight and Tin Machine 2.
Okay.
We will need a break. So instead of it just being an entire decade of garbage, we'll have that one that one moment where you can go, you want to go back to Stage?
And we'll make both of you who pay us pay for that one.
Yes. Well, no, that's actually an album. I'm
just saying. No, it's behind the paywall. Regardless.
Okay. All right.
Maybe not. I don't know. We'll discuss.
Yes.
We've got plenty of music videos to look at soon.
Oh God, so many. And I think that's something we should do soon. This album acts as a hinge, and that will become apparent later. Eric, without getting into track by track, just general overview, what is your current impression of this album?
I like it a lot.
I felt like you might.
I like this one a lot. I've only listened to it a few times. There's some good stuff. There are some weird hooks that really kind of like appeal to me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, some of the weird effects that they're doing, like yeah, it really just kind of hits for me. And
Yeah.
each track is different, and I want to know. I mean, this is the point of the show,
Right.
but I
Right.
want to know more. Everything that I'm listening to just makes me go, I want to understand this album.
There is a lot of fragmentation going on, and I feel like that is partially the point.
Yeah,
Um,
it
did
doesn't. Yeah,
you?
definitely doesn't all. It doesn't fit. Let's just
Uh,
say that these songs don't fit together.
well, and again, I think we can safely go here without going too deep into track by track, mainly because of what I hope will happen throughout this episode. Um, of course, you caught that there are bookends, the first track and the last
Well,
track.
yeah, they. I mean, it's literally in the song titles, but
Right.
yeah.
So it's all about fragmentation. It's kind of a mess, but there are bookends which give it structure. And then there are some other connections there that I think become obvious around track 3 or 4.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Uh
Structurally
huh.
to the entire timeline. It's that fourth dimension that I was mentioning last time. And then there are also connections to other parts in his past that we'll get to. So it's fragmented, but it's almost weirdly linear in terms of that fourth dimension. Did you notice any structural, besides the bookends, any structural patterns within the album?
Not so far. I've only listened to it like three or four times, so I'm
Okay.
still like in that quasi like let's enjoy it and listen to it and maybe catch some lyrical themes and maybe get some chord changes that are interesting and that
Hmm.
sort of stuff. So no, I whatever you're going for, I probably haven't picked up on it yet.
I think you'll see it. I think
It's
when
it's probably subconscious at this point.
yeah, so we're going to get into some of the history behind it, but part of the reason that I want to mention stage is that for that tour, um, on Eric on screen, you're seeing pictures of pictures.
Oh.
So the first one is a picture of David Bowie during the first Isolar tour, which was promoting Station to Station. And the background on that is that, well, you know, kind of where he was at during that time period. Things were bad.
Yeah.
He
But the
was,
stage is all like vertical bars
well, on this one, on the
on
top
that shot.
one,
Okay.
that's
Oh,
that's
oh,
that's
that's where you're
that
going.
era.
So,
This
oh, I see.
The
Yes, a
second
lot
one
of.
is Isolar Tour, that Isolar 2, which was promoting Heroes.
Okay.
So up top, you'll see, and I'm glad you caught on to that, the fluorescent tubes.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's what. Yeah, I see that transferring.
so we have him in that state that he was in during Scary Monsters, which was not scary, it's Station to Station, which was we've talked about it. We've been there. It was fucking awful. And this was the first tour that he had the opportunity to be profitable because Tony DeFries wasn't in the picture anymore, and he could just do the music. So if you
Right.
notice, it's just sparse lighting. The fluorescent tubes were basically the only aesthetic choice that were made in the staging, which became kind of its own thing. But it was basically just this is me on stage
Man
performing,
spreading the
man
hell
spreading
out
like
of
hell.
that chair. Yeah.
I'm gonna do this shit. I'm in the middle of this absolute torment, but god damn it, I need to get my bag. And the fluorescent tubes were basically like, look, I need to make some aesthetic choice. So I'm going to make that aesthetic choice because it's economical, it fits the mood, but that's kind of it. So
Hmm.
then we have,
Okay.
oh,
Yeah.
go ahead. What were you going to say?
Well, no. I'm just taking it all in and trying to contextualize to the next tour.
Right. So on this tour, it was okay. Many of you, it was basically like, aesthetically speaking, it was sort of like, look, that ended up being a really cool look. I really liked it. Let's lean into it. Let's have the lights actually move and do things, but it's still going to be that sparse, bare sort of thing that again fits with his aesthetic between these periods, right? So
Huh.
then,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead and share what you're thinking.
No. I'm still formulating. Keep going.
Um,
Keep talking, Dan.
so here's this aesthetic built out of kind of necessity, but also out of survival. And here he's in this torment in this time period with station to station where he is suffering and but he's making music kind of he's metabolizing that suffering into art, right? I mean,
Okay.
would you kind of do you think that's too much of a leap or
Oh, no, not at all. And that's what so many artists do while they're struggling through something mentally. They're creating something, and that's why we appreciate them as artists, is
right,
because they're able to take a portion of their suffering and say, you all go through this as well. And
right.
this is why we connect.
Totally. And this is what the audience connects to, and they kind of, yeah, I'm sure there's some marketing involved there with
Oh, of
some people,
course. Yeah.
but I think station to station era, I think it's pretty safe to say this was not marketing. This was a absolute collapse that just happened to happen to somebody who had a format to share it.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking out with a person who spent the last decade saying, I'm mentally unstable,
Right.
or I'm
Right.
worried that I'm mentally unstable.
Right. No, this is good. And but
Yeah.
then to finally feel it, to finally like have it be, oh no, this is the thing that I thought that I knew would happen, but I kind of secretly didn't think I would actually be consumed by.
Right. Oh no, it happened. It
Right.
finally did.
Right.
And Bewley Brothers now is just as creepy.
Yeah, yeah. So and then going back to like all the Mad Men where he's kind of conceptualizing, okay, well, what if the crazy ones are the real the ones with clarity? Then all of a sudden it's, oh no, I actually know what that feels like.
Right. I'm on that side, and do I have that depth of insight?
Right, right. Yeah, it's some would say it's no game.
Huh.
Yeah, you're seeing where we might be going here, right? So then
Beep beep.
yeah. So then we have station to station, and then he discovers through Low that he can create. He has to like reinvent his whole process of creation and discovery and recording with Low. Again, we've talked about these things,
Right.
and feel free to interject if you have any thoughts or disagreements.
Most of
And
my
then,
thoughts are literally beep beep. I
and
want to talk
then,
about a fashion someday.
and then with Heroes, it's sort of like that feeling like we talked about of, oh shit, I can actually do this. Now let me see what a rock album sounds like in that vein. And then, but at the same time, we have the second sides of each, which were like experimental and moody. And then along comes Lodger, which is this un not rooted, just disjointed sort of thing. And then while this is all happening, he tours and he is a connected person. He's ravenously devouring music acts as they come up. We've talked about this before. He's going to shows, he's listening to things, he's connected to producers, and all the while in the background, people are starting to, in the background and in the foreground, people are starting to imitate him a little bit.
Right.
Which, that's fair.
Yeah, and we talked about this on the last album, where it's like him wanting to, let's establish me again,
Mm-hmm.
and just say, no, I am the one that they're imitating.
So think back then to where, and I'm pointing to this Gary Newman, the station to station thing. This is going to happen a lot because they both have S's. Back to where he was here, what he was feeling. How might it feel to see your imitators only take on the aesthetic, but not really understand where that aesthetic came from?
Okay.
Right?
Because he's got a depth to his storytelling.
Yes. So then
we've been talking about for many episodes. Yeah.
Right. So imagine that you are him, you're seeing your imitators, and then all of a sudden you see this asshole.
What the hell?
That's Gary Newman in 1979, who was part of a punk band. And I want to be clear, Gary Newman in this, he's not the villain, but he is a target. And because he makes himself extremely visible in this situation, because you are not allowed to take this look that comes out of what it comes out of and turn it into your whole thing unless you're ready to like really address what it means to do that.
You better step up. Okay.
You better fucking step up. So, and it's not just this, it's, you got this going on.
Oh,
we got Duran Duran, who had yet to release their first album, but they were working. They were out there. They were working on their stuff.
They're digesting their Bowie.
Well, yeah. They're basically saying like, look what I can do. And it comes from this very well-meaning place. I'm not saying that these people are bad or wrong, but again, you have to imagine, what if you are the person who went through that stuff and you're seeing these people put up decorations of like, oh, this is made of someone else's blood, basically. Like, the influence, I'm sure, is felt and appreciated, but at the same time, it's like, this is before his biographies were written. This is before it had to have felt a certain way, is all I'm saying.
Okay, so they're just going off of what they're interpreting from those songs. They're feeling some of the instability, some of the drug use, some of the what have you, but they're not really getting into what inspired
that it wasn't a choice. That they're saying, they're looking at it and like, oh, let's aestheticize Torment because it's interesting, and it is. Those are, he made some really incredible work during that time, and a lot of it comes from, again, metabolizing that, brush with madness and just absolute torment.
Jeez, but yeah. I mean, that's that.
I mean, Goth didn't exist other than the Germanic tribe,
right?
And the architecture.
But yeah, I'm thinking of things like emo, where like it was just screaming and crying on stage about emotions,
right?
And I don't know if that. I don't know if that line is there from here.
It's absolutely there. This is.
I guess that's what we're talking about. But.
This guy is where all of that comes from.
Okay, so we're going from I am dealing with my mental health issues on stage to I want to have some mental health issues to deal with on stage
That is basically where we're at.
with a lot of these folks. I'm
But
sorry if you actually have mental health issues and you're in a screamo band, but
but that's the thing, is that it's not that like you're not allowed to do this. It's just that in this moment, in this period of time in his life, I feel like he was looking at it and going like, okay, do you have any idea what it meant when I did that? Are you not seeing, it's basically like, and getting back to the Wes Anderson thing, it's almost like it might be a similar feeling to what I feel when people are like, oh, you like weird stuff, so you must like Wes Anderson. I'm like, is that all I am to you?
right.
You
You're
know,
like, I also like David Sylvian.
who, by the way, was in Japan right there.
There you go.
So we have Duran Duran, Japan, Spandau Ballet. The list is endless. So getting back to the album.
Oh man. No wonder you wanted to do another two-part episode.
Yeah. This is a big one.
I'm in.
So these are just the straight up facts. This is a section that I call what we'd be shot for not mentioning. It was released in September 1980 on RCA, produced by David Bowie and Tony Visconti. Good Tony.
Yeah, Tony.
Pete Townsend plays lead guitar on Because You're Young.
Wow.
No one knows why.
Pete was like, he's walking down the street. David walked up and said, "Oi."
I feel like it's similar to that. Yes.
Right.
This is the final Bowie album with contributions from George Murray, Dennis Davis, and Carlos Alomar. They were the backbone of his 70s sound. We haven't had Mike Garson around for a while. Have you felt his absence, Eric?
Sorry, what was that last
Have you
sentence?
felt the absence of Mike Garson?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love Garson, but it's not like losing Tony. If we lose Tony, don't tell me we lose Tony.
Visconti?
Yeah.
Okay, here, do you want to know, first of all, if we get Mike Garson back or not?
You know what? You're right. I'd like to know that Garson is coming back because that man is an insane genius.
Okay, he is coming back, but it's going to take some time.
Okay,
and when it happens, it's spectacular.
Okay, well, I'm happy to know it's spectacular. Tony Visconti, I think, he's just glue.
He is glue, and we do lose him, but he comes back.
Damn
he comes back.
Okay. Whew.
This is our last Visconti album for some time.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, at least you know what? At least we've shed Bad Tony.
Yes, we have shed Bad Tony
for a long time.
Yes. It features
like a decade, isn't it?
For Bad Tony? Oh, he's out of the picture now. He's gone.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm like it's been like a decade since he was an influence.
At this point, probably 4 years, but the legal battles are still happening in the background, which we'll get to in a while. Features the first direct sequel in the Bowie verse, It's No Game, #1 and #2. Ashes to Ashes revisits Major Tom from Space Oddity, or
fun
does it?
Fun.
I fucking love that song.
It's so good.
It's got some hidden things in it, though. That's all I'm gonna say for now.
Okay, I'll have to listen to it more than 3 times.
Do you want? I'll go ahead and give this to you now before we get into. But don't go down this road until we get to the tracks in side B. Consider if the song is not. Consider a couple things. Who is the action man?
Okay.
Is Major
I
Tom?
I have written down who is the action.
Is Major Tom actually Major Tom?
Okay.
And what if it's not about drugs?
Okay.
Do you want me to give you another push in this direction?
Um,
You can answer either way. I'm fine with it.
just don't mess with Major Tom. No, no, let's leave it. I'll listen to it a few more times.
Okay.
Um,
Let me wrap this around. This is related, but it applies to the entire album. Consider the use of mime imagery throughout, and including. Have you seen the Ashes to Ashes video?
no,
Okay.
I only consume content when you're involved
um,
and when people can pay us.
we might need
$1 each.
we might need to make a pause in this episode just to watch that video because it's going to fuck up the audio, which that's fine. I can just edit it out. Did you want to do that?
No,
Okay.
I got a Wes Anderson movie to watch.
True. Okay. Okay. So just consider the use of the mime imagery, what that might
I can see that happening. I mean, fun to funky. That just screams mime.
Yes, but also consider that the mime imagery was used throughout the entire album, like in the marketing of it and whatnot. Anyway, moving. We'll get to it.
Okay. Yeah.
So the video for Ashes to Ashes may have cost more than your house. Bowie not yours, Eric. Just
which house?
your
I have
summer,
several.
Your summer home, your servants' quarters. Bowie.
I'm a very successful podcaster.
Bowie starred on Broadway in The Elephant Man during this release. Peaked at #1 in the UK. First UK #1 since Diamond Dogs. The US did not know what to do with it.
No, I can imagine. The US is like, what's that guy doing now?
Yeah, huh?
He put out another one?
What the fans say about this album? Side A is perfect. Side B is unexperienced.
Where's the album break? Where's
the beginning of Teenage Wildlife is the first track of Side B.
Oh, okay, because that's where I'm like, where is that on the line? Okay, Scream Like a Baby. Kingdom Come because you're young. It's no game. I have a lot more notes on B than I do on side A. For my first listen.
That fits a lot of people's experience, I think.
Okay.
Because side A feels like it's just like, oh, okay, this is a Bowie album. But side B is like,
there are grooves.
What the hell's
Bowie's
happening?
doing his vocal things.
Can I give you another nugget to carry into your further listenings?
Yes.
Okay. What if on the second side on this one, that is basically his instrumental side from Low and Heroes, but instead of mood, he's dealing with fragmentation.
That doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. All right. Something to think about next time I listen to it.
But in that sense, what if it's basically him saying, this is what I think David Bowie songs, what I think you think David Bowie songs should sound like.
Okay. Huh.
Pause for water, not to force you to talk.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. I can talk anyway. Yeah, I mean, oh man. Yeah. Cuz side A just I'm looking at my notes here from my first listen. And there's a good amount of like, hey, David's doing his David voice.
Basically, yeah.
But side B is more, what is he trying to do? What is he going for? Like literally, Kingdom Come, I wrote, there's a tone to David's voice. I want to know what he's trying to do.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, because you're young. Classic Bowie.
I'm curious, just because it might change. It might change what generally are your notes for Teenage Wildlife?
Teenage Wildlife. This is the most Bowie singing in a while with some weird old man shoebops.
Okay, interesting.
What are we singing about? I like this a lot.
We'll get there. Um,
I also wrote, oh, now I get it. I don't think I get it anymore.
you may not, but it does go back to here. Imagine if you had this that
Is
was
that an
born.
AI image? Is that it?
The backgrounds are all AI images
Okay?
again, it wasn't just AI make a picture. It was back and forth.
You've
And
been
then,
working on these, yes.
yes.
Now that Dan is like Dan is an educationalist, and so for half of the year he has nothing to do but work with AI.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so imagine you go from here where it's like my aesthetic is coming out of Torment, and then some jackhole shows up with his $1 million weapon.
Look at those pyramids. I don't like those. That's too much. That's too much fog.
Again, I have no issue with Gary Newman. I think he's fine. And his brother Randy Newman makes excellent songs. That's a joke. They're not related. Um,
Now we're doing a song about
our
David
friends
Bowie.
Electric. um, yeah, yeah. Oh wait, we went too
Oh,
far.
no. Oh, so many slides.
Just there's a lot in there. Okay, so it's like he's arguing with himself in real time. More of what fans say. This is Bowie's most linear descent into madness with costume changes. Ashes to Ashes is the best Bowie song. Fight Me. What the hell is Kingdom Come doing here? This album came
Yeah.
out the same year as Closer and Remain in Light. That makes sense now, sort of. Reddit says it feels like it wants to be a greatest hits from a parallel universe.
Huh. Interesting.
And
I
then
sure do like Remain in Light.
it's a fun album.
It popped on today after I finished listening to
Perfect.
this album. And I'm like, yeah, I'll keep listening to this. Yeah.
And by the way, I kept this generation of this series of images because it's based on kind of forum talk, and it has this right here, which looks like it says "you're fat," which is basically how the forums operate. Um,
Yes, misspelled and everything.
yes. Where it sits and why it feels how it does. This is the last album of his RCA contract. It ends the 70s and a chapter of his creativity. Feels like a spiral collapsing inward after the Berlin trilogy. It deconstructs itself even while trying to shout. There's no reinvention here. Instead, it's a reckoning. It's an album of farewells, rebukes, and warnings. Bowie's playing a prophet, not a performer. Any thoughts on that?
Huh. I don't know about the prophet part yet. I mean, contextualizing it in hey, this is the last album you have to do for us.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't sound like he's dialing it in.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Not at all.
Like it's not at all a pinups.
No, but at the same time, I wonder if it invites you to think it might be.
Huh. Yeah, I'll have to think about that as we go through. Yeah, I mean, it just in some cases it doesn't have that cohesiveness that other albums do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We're gonna
But
talk.
there's nothing that says I just put together a bunch of shit.
Right. We're kind of at a perfect place to hit. We're gonna skip this one and get into Spiral Logic because we're kind of at a perfect place to do this.
Okay.
So, Spiral Logic. This is an actual thing, and it's something that has actually become really helpful for me to understand certain situations especially when there are like creative choices involved. So first we have the core premise, right? The thing is itself. It has identity, form, intention. It declares something. Does that make sense? You follow that?
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So then the first turn comes with the immediate disruption, but it's also not perfectly itself. There's performance, dissonance, and contradiction.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
In whatever creative process, fairly early on, you say, this is what I want to do, but it doesn't always hold together immediately.
Right. So an example could be like, this thing is a couch, but it's not exactly how I might imagine a couch to be.
Right.
Or even better, it might not fit the exact imagining of everyone when thinking about what a couch is.
Right.
Right? Okay.
Okay.
So then the second turn, its notness is part of its isness. It's reflective tension. The fact that it fails or resists being purely one thing deepens what it actually is.
So by inspecting, analyzing the thing, you're saying, well, this isn't what it is or what it could be.
Right.
But this is what I think that leads you to what it should be.
Yeah. And another way to think about it is this couch is not a baboon.
Right. Yeah. You can easily chunk out things that it definitely isn't.
Right. And once you do that, you can then think about, okay, how is it not like a baboon? And it feels kind of weird, but then if you introduce, it's also not like a fish, then that gets weirder because, well, a baboon and this couch kind of have four limbs. So the couch is more like the baboon than it is like the fish.
So we're defining, but not necessarily.
Exactly. Or like you said about the ice and what do you say? It disrupts, or what did your friend say about ice that you were sharing with me? Not the immigration thing, the ice in water or cherry Coke or whatever. It displaces the flavor. Is that what it was?
Oh, it agitates the flavor.
Agitates the flavor.
Yes.
So, and that's why
like, I talk a lot about ice.
he loves immigration rates.
Right. But yeah, having ice in your soda, in your pop, if you're from the Midwest,
right,
it agitates the flavor.
Right.
It's nice to have something cold that literally, like, it literally helps the carbonation come out.
Right.
Or and I don't know that that's what he was going for.
Or applying it to this, ice would be in the immediate disruption. It's frozen water. It is not water if you have it in water. But if you have it in like cherry Coke, we're looking at the reflective tension, which is this ice is not the cherry Coke, which then makes, if I drink the cherry Coke through the ice, I have these little things that aren't the cherry Coke that then make the cherry Coke more the cherry Coke.
All right, we're going for it
here. Are you with me?
I am with you.
Okay. So then we have the relational layer. This is the third turn. Its truth is shaped by what it refuses to be. That is the cherry Coke going through the ice into your mouth, making your mouth feel that it is more cherry Coke than it actually is. So another example is a glam rock song that critiques glam, a liberal anthem that loathes liberalism.
Huh.
You don't have to get it all at once. I have several examples.
All
and
right.
Then we have the outer echo.
You've already given me multiple.
I have one final one that I think you'll totally latch onto. The outer echo, which is the fourth turn. The more it is not X, the more it becomes Y, but Y contains X's shadow. Truth and disguise are dancing, not resolving. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
So relating to this album, Scary Monsters as a spiral. This album is spiral because it is Bowie removing masks. But in order to do so, he must first be aware that you only want to see the masks. Then he has to be aware of the masks he thinks that he's wearing. You have to know, he has to know that being sincere will be met with skepticism. So then he must make sincerity itself feel like a performance, wear the right mask the wrong way, invite you to see the cracks in your own expectations, and only then, if you're willing to follow him, he takes the mask off, but then he turns it around, showing you not just who was behind it, but what he saw while he was wearing it. Imagine you're a pharmacist.
Oh, yes, I will do that. I'm already thinking things. Okay.
Patients trust the label on the bottle, right? Feel free to expand on that as an idea, because I think it'll help the listener understand as well as yourself. I mean, it sounds simple and silly, but like, let's let it be simple and silly. Patients trust the label on the bottle. What does that mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's something that you hand to the patient, and at the most base level, you have a technician read that to you.
Okay, yeah.
And they say, all right, this says take this with food.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you take this with food.
So they also want to believe that what's inside is exactly what the label says. As a pharmacist, what does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, as a pharmacist, one of the core responsibilities of a pharmacist is to, what is in this bottle? Does it match the picture? Does it match the quantity?
Right.
Okay. Yes, I am the last person to look in this bottle and say, yes, this is what it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So then sometimes you do have to go to the patients and say, all right, I know it's a different color this time.
Yeah.
But that's because Joe's Pillory makes it green.
Mm-hmm. By the way, thank you, Joe's Pillory, for sponsoring our podcast.
Right. And Jack's Pillory, we burned that bridge. They make theirs red.
So this gets to the next point, which is, but you, the professional, know it's more complex. Generics differ, interactions shift. The intended treatment isn't always the received effect, right?
Right.
Okay.
Because if you don't sit down and talk to the people about it, they're like, you know what? I really liked Jack's Pillory.
Right.
And I don't know that that's the name of it. I just know that this one used to be red and now it's green.
So then take that and imagine handing someone a bottle labeled relief, but it contains something that causes discomfort, but only because that discomfort reveals the root issue. They come back angry, but later they realize it worked. And that's spiral logic. The label is a mask. The medicine is a contradiction. The cure is real, but that makes you question what you thought healing would look like.
All right.
Okay.
AI doesn't know how to spell. Jeez.
I added the
oh, I know
captions.
your background is like
it's getting better, yeah.
But like, so it's hurting my head.
What's interesting is
all of that.
I think some of the mistakes are on purpose. They're like aesthetic use of language, which is fascinating to me. But anyway, so this gets back to the album itself in ways that are let's play a fun mental game. Scary Monsters. In what ways is it a love song? Sorry to put you on the spot. Okay, so let me then give you a twist that turn there.
It's almost the opposite. I mean, in a lot of ways.
Okay.
Blue Eyes, Nothing Home.
So how is it then like a love song if the narrator is a psychopath?
Okay.
Are you seeing it?
Yeah. Blue Eyes, but Nothing's Home. Too hot. You're too hot to be a killer.
Yeah. basically I'm going to destroy this person and I'm going to watch them be destroyed. And that's fucking awesome to me.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Those effects are like, yeah.
And then now what if take that other turn and say, okay, what if the person who is writing the role of the narrator saw briefly a window into a version of themselves, say around the Station to Station era, that could have become that person.
So we're talking about back in the day, there was a little moment of clarity. Huh.
But you see where this can go, where it's like, I can see how in a different setting, I could have become this awful version of myself, and I probably could have gotten away with it. But you know what? I turned away from it. So now let's make this a dance song.
Right.
But
Yeah,
without
it's still a fun song, but
it's inviting you to dance at the victory of the fact that he turned away from becoming that monster. But the monster is still very present.
the monster recognizes monster.
100%. And I don't even know that that's necessarily what Scary Monsters is about, but that's sort of introducing this idea of the spiral logic, with all these tracks. And it works really well. So weird stuff that makes it work, normal stuff that makes it weird. Lyrics references earlier work, often in unsettling ways. Ashes to Ashes uses dream logic. Teenage Wildlife opens like a parody of Heroes. The mix is crowded, urgent, often abrasive. Backing vocals veer from camp to cult.
Oh,
There's
for sure.
robotic precision and a wounded shout. Scream Like a Baby is a rewrite of I'm Like a Laser. This is going to fuck up the audio, but I want to give you a little hint of it. Listener,
All
we'll
right.
catch you on the other
I'll be
side.
quiet.
No, you're good. That's Eric. I'm sure you heard the similarities. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Here's another. This is a seed I planted around Hunky Dory or Man Who Sold the World era.
There we go. Yeah.
So
we've got that pensiveness.
well, yeah, and it's what I find interesting about this album, especially after this re-listening, especially, is it's disjointed as fuck, right? But then there are all these straight lines going back through that fourth dimension of there's a straight up reference to Major Tom.
Well, yeah,
There's
that's super obvious.
yeah, there's a callback to Heroes. There's Scream Like a Baby is a rewrite of something that he wrote during the Young Americans days. It's No Game is a rewrite of Tired of My Life, which was a unreleased track from the time that it's from. So yes, it's just disjointed, but it's also weirdly rooted. So
Yeah, it's almost like he's revisiting some of these things.
mhm.
And I really want to go back and listen with this stuff in mind, but he's revisiting some of his old moments where he's like, I'm insane.
Yeah.
And maybe that makes it different to think about it again.
Yeah, because he's in he's in his 30s now?
30s
40s?
at this point, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think at least I was performatively like crazy in my high school days. Like, oh, I'm crazy because I listen to this weird music and I read this kind of book and
Right.
yeah, like I'm different from everybody else because I want to be.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And there's certain media that is really best left to that version of you. Like Donnie Darko, if I were to see it, if I saw it when I was like 17, definitely, but probably up to 24. If I saw it then, I would have been like, whoa, man, have you seen Donnie Darko?
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
then I watched it like 10 years ago or so, and I was like, okay, I see it, but it's kind of dumb.
Yeah, and that's a great example because when I saw it, I'm like, "Oh, I'm over this aesthetic,"
Right.
but it was interesting,
Yeah. Like I totally get what some people see in it,
right?
but at the same time, it's like, but it is kind of stupid.
Right. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, it's time travel. All right.
It's
Cellar door.
smart.
Yeah.
It's smart
All
stuff
right.
for stupid people. So it's the opposite of Wes Anderson.
Still going to see this
I did.
movie.
I'm not trying to talk you out of it.
You no, you're not going to talk me out of it. I don't care.
So another part that I always try to include. What version of Bowie is this? What is he showing us? It's not a character, more like a vessel shaking loose. He's a veteran here, not a rebel, and he's uneasy with that. There's performance, but little disguise. He's aware of being imitated, and it enrages him. And he warns the imitators. He warns the fans. He warns himself. He's basically in a lot of this saying, do you know what it means to be a person who went through the stuff that I went through?
Interesting. Yeah, because he's anybody who's going to imitate him are people that were listening to him when they were young at that formative age.
Right. But again, blogs didn't exist. Twitter didn't exist. No biographies were being made. People weren't, there wasn't like celebrity reporting. I mean, all that they really got with celebrity reporting was he's bisexual. Isn't that weird?
I don't even know if they would have fully gotten that.
No, it was basically like, so you're like gay, but we complicated, right? That's what that is, right?
Every once in a while, you have a song where you talk about a dude.
It's like 50-50, right? For every one of this, you go for the, like it's mathematical. You have a spreadsheet, right? That's how that works. So he is talking to his imitators. And this introduces what we're going to get into next, which is mainly because I don't want to have to go over this for the remaining albums until we get to where we're going to get to. But here's something to consider: the mime imagery. He is using mime imagery throughout the stuff. And if you look at the actual album artwork, it's all mime imagery. Eric, what was David Bowie before he was a musician? Do you remember?
I mean, yeah, he was an actual mime, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
performing. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
He was a mime. This was his
physical comedy
mime
or
was
emotions.
yeah. Mime was his first. It was his first version of himself that he used to express things. But he's dressed up specifically as Pierrot. And if I'm mispronouncing that, I'm sorry. There was a famous character from Italian Commedia dell'arte, and this character was used by Arnold Schoenberg as the moonstruck and fantastical clown, who's a symbol of putting on a mask to hide one's true feelings or opinions. Forever lovelorn and wistfully contemplating the dying moon, he lurches through the night, hiding his face underneath a thick layer of white paint. That is how music people talk about things, and this is why I'm no longer a music person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, there might be something there. All right. Eric,
Here's that flowchart.
Do you have any thoughts, any additions, any questions, anything before I get to nerding out over post-punk?
Are we doing that on this episode?
We're going to do that on this episode because this is also going to be important for your re-listen experience.
Okay. Just go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those of you who do have access to the slides, our Patreon, $2, one for each of us. I can't promise that they will always be present or good or well thought out. This one I think is pretty good. And there's a lot of visuals representing what I'm about to talk about. So imagine then, Eric, remind me, what is your experience with like new wave and new romanticism and post punk and stuff?
I mean, other than growing up in the '80s,
Okay. So
that's pretty much it.
but that, so it's not, this is an aesthetic that you're kind of new to. Is that, am I remembering that correctly?
Uh, yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with it, but yeah, growing up as a kid in that era, I also heard an awful lot of, what would be called now yacht rock and that sort of thing. Um, a lot
Yeah.
of a lot of soft jazz and rock, and ultimately I rejected all of it when I was able to choose my own style of music
It's a good choice.
Be- because of things like genre destroying things like They Might Be Giants.
Okay.
And
Okay. Got it.
yeah.
Got it. So, and this is just out of curiosity because it's something I thought about. What's your, have you had a relationship with ska? Do you, because I could see you going a couple of different ways on that.
Oh yeah, I had a tangential relationship with ska because
Okay.
I was in a ska band.
That, well, there you go. Um,
As a horn player, yeah.
right.
Yeah, that sort of thing hit at the right time with like big band music.
If do you want a little fun little brain game to play? Try listening to Fashion again, but imagine it's sped up and the background singers as horns.
Huh. Okay. Okay.
I don't know that that's a thing. It's just something that I tried on in my own brain and it totally worked. So, so in other words, I think a way to summarize it is that like you know that Bauhaus exists, but you aren't aware necessarily that it exists in like 18 different forms.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That wasn't a style that I engaged with in any real way.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
if you would like to engage with any of these references, there are links in the slides that I would encourage you to. I picked examples of things if you would like to listen to them. It's not an assignment, just
No,
you
no,
can.
thank you.
So we start with Bowie and Roxy music as like separate seeds almost, and then from Roxy music we get New Romantics, and there's also sort of an art funk and disco that comes from there. From Bowie we get post punk, which then turns into goth and dark wave. We also get synth pop from him, and then from the goth and dark wave we get um, something called the 4AD thread, which is a lot of glossolalia. Are you familiar with the sound of Susie and the Banshees?
Oh yes, yeah.
Okay,
I've listened to a bunch of their stuff. Yeah.
so that's kind of where that comes from.
Okay.
And then from there we get dream pop and shoegaze. I think shoegaze that probably lands with you, right? Like Mazzy Star.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then from there, we get a 90s convergence between a lot of these things, which kind of shoots out into industrial. For that, think like Nine Inch Nails.
Right.
Okay. So, and of course,
I've
there
listened
are.
to a lot of this stuff. I don't like
Yeah, no,
devote a
I,
lot to
I
them.
believe you. So,
Of
like,
course.
just for my own level set, Susie and the Banshees, you understand that reference, but Cocteau Twins maybe is just a reference that you have heard me make before.
I've listened to some of their stuff
Okay.
before and after your references.
Okay, perfect. So actually, the 4AD thread, Cocteau Twins, Dead Can Dance. Anything there?
Yeah, like in most of these areas,
Yeah,
it's more of like a casual like bouncing off.
got it. I think
Like,
you
let's
might.
listen to this album because there have been plenty of times where I'm working in the middle of the night and like, let's listen to a thing I haven't listened to before.
I could actually see you enjoying, and this isn't a negative thing at all. I can see you enjoying some Dead Can Dance, but probably not. Think Oingo Boingo, but slow, but like filtered through Susie and the Banshees and Cocteau Twins, like with that
Huh.
aesthetic.
Okay.
So, I would be curious if you wanted to get into it. I'd be curious to hear what you think of Dead Can Dance. Anyway, so eventually that all converges, in my theory, it's into Outside, which is an album that we will get to sometime from now. Another way to look at this is I have a lineage here, which is that we have Bowie to Roxy to Susie and Public Image Limited to Bauhaus to Japan to Cocteau Twins to Nine Inch Nails and Throbbing Gristle, which good luck anyone who wants to listen to Throbbing Gristle. And then eventually we have
I don't get that reference. So
Throbbing Gristle. Are you not familiar with Hamburger Lady?
No.
Don't look it up.
All right.
You are not their target market.
Okay.
I am barely their target market.
I've heard some things that are making me wonder if that's where that came from, because
what are you thinking?
Oh man, I wish I could remember. So there was this kid that I would drive to. I'd pick him up on our way to school every day, and he was super into like Nine Inch Nails was too pop for him.
I know the type, yes.
And he'd occasionally play
I've
stuff
been the
type. He'd play some stuff for us, and even like Aphex Twin. He's like, what? You guys listen to Aphex Twin?
He definitely played Hamburger Lady for me.
Okay.
No chance he didn't.
And one of his he was overjoyed to play a song for us one day.
It's probably Hamburger.
Where the entire song was like, suck my ass, it smells.
Oh, okay.
And so he'd just laugh.
So he's
every time, because the only lyrics were "suck my ass, it smells."
Okay, so unfocused edgelordness. I get
that was pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe he wasn't. He might not have appreciated the.
Maybe
the
he got to
the nuanced layers of the Hamburger Lady.
maybe that was just one where it was totally edgelord. It was just like. So this song is 4 minutes long?
Yeah. Basically,
Thanks,
where we're getting to is my sort of working thesis for all of this, the narrative that I've been working with, is you have these two roots of Bowie and Roxy music. From there, it's just this explosion of branches and leaves and things that intertwine and interconnect, and new, genres are connected that all kind of go back to this single point. But then... And yeah, they all go other places, but then what we're going to get to in 1995 is Nirvana covers The Man Who Sold the World in 1993. You have all these Britpop people. You have Nine Inch Nails. There's this like convergence that happens where...
That cover may have been my first exposure to Bowie.
You would not be the first person.
And I was not a Nirvana fan, but I remember hearing... the Unplugged album going, oh, I actually like Nirvana now.
Yeah. And you'll get a better appreciation when we get to that point, kind of what a tectonic shift that was in terms of people's perception of Bowie, because it's going to change. So basically there's this huge branch, and then it all kind of converges to this point where it's like, okay, Outside has to be released in 1995. So there's that. Into more detail, in between 1973 and 77, glam implodes, and punk happens from that. You got Diamond Dogs, Young Americans, that gives way to Low and Heroes. Glam dissolves, soul fractures. Bowie leaves the stadium, finds his ghost in Berlin. At the same time, you have punk, of course, Sex Pistols, The Clash. Those are pretty straightforward examples. And I don't have links there because everyone should know what those things are.
They can find those.
Yeah, if you don't know, I don't know why you're listening to this. And then he goes to Berlin. This is post-punk's birth. That's 77 to 79. Low, Heroes, and Lodger lay sonic groundwork. It's mood as structure, which is not new for music, but new for pop music.
Uh-huh.
And examples of imitators during this time, you have Susie, Magazine, Wire, Public Image Limited. But Roxy Music's Ghost is kind of haunting the edges of this. It's all about sleek detachment and with a hint, just enough menace to go, maybe this guy is a serial killer. I don't know. Why is he dressed up like a Nazi youth and, air humping the microphone? I don't know. That's Brian Ferry for you.
Hey,
Then
there are boobs on the cover of that album.
Then synth becomes Signal, 1979 to 1980. Bowie sees his influence refracted and sanitized, and Scary Monsters becomes his barbed reply. You have Gary Newman, Ultravox, Japan. Those are clear imitators. And at the same time, because the 80s are happening, Thatcherism and all this stuff going on, fashion becomes a battleground. Then The Pretty Gets Dark. This is 1980 to 1984. I'm going to cover these just so I don't have to cover them when we get to later albums.
Okay.
Because this is not just a closure for the 70s. This is sort of like the second act for the overall arc, but it's the third act for the 70s and the first act for the 80s in terms of Bowie narrative structure goes. You got Duran Duran, Soft Cell, Spandau Ballet. Get popular. Bowie retreats into weaponized polish, as we will find out with Let's Dance and tonight. At the same time, you have The Cure, Depeche Mode, Throbbing Gristle, Cocteau Twins. They're kind of digging deeper into that area. Then later, Sound Phrase, the scene hardens 1985 to 1994. Bauhaus becomes Love and Rockets. Skinny Puppy grows fangs. The Smiths exist. Japan, David Sylvian from Japan has a cult following. Blur samples fashion. Radiohead sends the signal. Pulp translates it. Trent Reznor learns synths bleed when distorted. You got Nine Inch Nails, Ministry. Others fulfill his Machine Ache prophecy. Grunge Might Not Care. You have Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains, Smashing Pumpkins. I always like to say pumpkins. I say they might not care, but they know where their roots are.
Yeah,
And
they seem more deliberate than just, yeah.
oh yeah, 100%. I mean, even the glam people like Def Leppard and all of those people who you would think would be like, yeah, Bowie, that's gay. They were into him. And Nirvana definitely knew where the bread was buttered, as we see in that performance. So back to Scary Monsters with that context. What things to think about? What might we be missing? Is it our fault? Because this album doesn't resolve, it corners us. It's possible that Scary Monsters was meant to be an ending, not a bridge. It's possible. Do we mistake Coherence for comfort? It's full of internal references, but what if we're not the audience?
Which asks, who is the audience?
Who is the action man?
Damn you.
Well, no, but I don't think the action man is the audience. I do have a definite opinion, though. Who is the audience? I know that at least one of the members of the audience is this guy, Gary Newman.
Damn it, Gary. Interesting. Yeah, that's a lot widely, to digest.
Yeah, without giving the game away, it is widely considered common knowledge that Gary Newman became. Let's look at the lyrics of Teenage Wildlife. Let's just for a moment. Do you have time before
bread was Gary buttering?
Teenage Wildlife lyrics. Well, how come you only want tomorrow? With its promise of something hard to do. Basically, what I'm doing here, it's widely recognized that Teenage Wildlife is in part a criticism of Gary Newman, as well as a uh, talking to his audience. How come you only want tomorrow with its promise of something hard to do? A real life adventure worth more than pieces of gold. Little typo. Blue skies above and sun in your arms.
Those aren't
Strength.
typos. It's just Dan's inability to read.
What?
Sound it out.
Okay, hold on. We're
Slow
gonna go
down.
with genius. Because
He's a very stable genius.
being someone with an actual learning disability, I'm looking at that and I'm like, wait, is it me?
I'm sorry, Dan.
No, that's fine.
Just making fun of.
No, I know.
friend.
I just, but that turned into a like, okay, is my
what?
stove on? Okay, how come you only want tomorrow with its promise of something hard to do? Real life adventure worth more than pieces of gold. Blue skies above and sun in your arms. Strength in your stride and hope in those squeaky clean eyes. You get chilly receptions everywhere you go. Blinded with desire. I guess the season is on. What does that tell you? I guess the season is on.
I don't know.
In relation to this guy.
Is
Gary Newman.
Is it? Yeah, I'm not sure. Are you saying like it's time for?
Is it duck season or rabbit season?
I don't know.
It is widely considered that this verse is him saying to his impersonators, but Gary Newman becomes a more pointed target. He's saying to his imitators, okay, I see what you're doing. I see what you're wanting to do. I see the ambition. I see why it exists. It's
and I'm
all
after
great.
you.
It's all attractive. But the fact that you have put yourself in this position means I can take you down now. I guess the season is on. Like it's fucking hunting season, motherfuckers.
That season.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You train by shadowboxing, search for the truth, but it's all used up. Think about what that might mean. I don't want to get too deep into the tracks thing, but when you re-listen, this is good. This is good, interesting information to have. Is that, and here's the one.
Yeah, are you one of the new wave boys?
Yeah. See where this is going. Break open your $1 million weapon.
Yeah, you're making money off of my style.
There's the $1 million weapon right there. It's not just the synth. It's all of it.
Right. Yeah. It's doing the set design. It's doing
a broken nose
almost
mogul.
Glam.
Oh yeah. It's because it's almost glam because it's a Bowie fan doing Bowie. So it's like, what if I do more Bowie than Bowie? And
glam might not be in style, but we can do the next glam.
Well, yeah, because these are all punk musicians who one day saw a Moog synth and were like, "Oh, it makes farty sounds. Let's use it throughout our album now." That's really
because those people are not punk.
Well, they
not
were
with a set like that.
They were though. Two Boy Army was considered a punk band, but then Gary Newman was like, "Tee-hee, I have this machine." Which is, again, that's fine, but I think what he's getting at with a lot of this is, okay, that's great. I'm glad you listened. I appreciate that you went and saw me in concert, but when you try to be me, I really need you to understand what that means. Not, and this is entirely my interpretation, but it's backed up. Not so much to apologize or to feel bad or to stop imitating me. Just, I need you to know. I just need you to know that you think you're feeling it, but you're not. And I don't wish that on you.
Right. But you guys got to know what you're doing, right?
Yeah. Because I mean, let's go back to this. Think about you're this guy who is like, my life's falling apart. The goddamn devil's in my swimming pool.
My
I'm
wife
eating.
totally saw it.
I'm existing on milk and peppers, like under
Peppers.
duress because that's the only thing people can get me to eat. I'm barely sleeping, and when I do, again, it's under duress. It's because I'm literally exhausted. I have no money. My manager cheated me out of this, and yeah, partially it's because I shouldn't have done so much drugs, but at the same time, no one stopped me. And I was surrounded by yes men. The entire system that I put in place, that I paid for to support everything that should have happened, failed. I collapsed, and then I barely made it out. I should not have been able to rediscover how to have a career, how to work with low heroes and lodger, but
Yeah, how
I
many
fucking did.
artists didn't come out of it okay? Even if they did come out
Most.
of it, they're like, "Oh,
Or
we're done."
or worse, a lot of them came out of it and they were like Genesis. You know, where it's just like, oh, we can't go near anything interesting or dark because that makes us use the drugs. Instead, he was kind of saying like, no, you can still do that, but that's you have to recognize what you're messing with. So here he is in Station to Station era, where he is literally only the neon tubing or the fluorescent tubing, while a really, really cool like aesthetic choice in the moment, came from this like, I don't have money. I can't afford a set.
Right.
Every penny I put into this is cutting into my bottom line.
Oh yeah, this isn't like old Diamond Dog's
Mm-mm.
massive storytelling.
Because he didn't see any of that profit.
Right.
So this in that time period, this aesthetic that people are grabbing onto is it it's 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 coming from this place of absolute desperation and pain, and like, I don't think I will make it out of this. But then these jackasses are just like, hey, I'm gonna wear your mask and I'm gonna be like, hey, isn't this cool? This is cool, right? Hey, David,
Right. I
look at
mean,
this. Isn't this cool? Look what I did.
as cool as it was to hear that Nirvana was like, we don't like our fans, so whenever a song gets too popular, we just change it.
Right.
Like that's cool, but it's also really, really douchey.
But it also, I mean, it is douchey, but at the same time, it makes sense that they would be like, I'm tired of this song. Can we please let it rest?
Right. Yeah. I don't want to play this for the rest of my life. And you get that when you hear things. I mean, I saw one. So I don't know if I've brought this up before. I don't think I have on this show. I saw ZZ Top once at a free show at
It's okay.
like
We've all been there.
at a big venue, and you could tell they were tired of playing their songs, because at the end of every song they would do the part that they usually faded out, because that's what you did in the 70s and 80s, is you faded out at the end of every song. They'd have like a little bit of a jam session, and just when it got kind of cool where you could tell they were having a little bit of fun, they'd stop.
Yeah.
And they'd go, all right, now for the next one you people seem to like.
Yeah. You got your little dose. Now let's move on.
Right. And I'm like, what a miserable experience that you're, just as you were having fun. Like, I mean, I come from the jam band scene and the jazz scene where, like, you could play a song for half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's a joke to a lot of people, but it's also...
It's true.
Right. Like, it's fun to hear improvisation at a musical level. And I enjoy doing that.
Fun is a word that could be used for that. That's just me. That's just me being the kind of audience member that I am.
I know. We're gonna. I've got a slowly growing list of alternative episodes that we need to introduce you to. But including King Crimson.
Oh, that will be interesting.
After you were like, wait, there were 15 seconds of silence on this song. I'm like, yeah, it's great, right? Oh, it comes back with boop, boop, boop.
The little elfin people trotting along.
Wow. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to introduce you to some stuff you're not going to like.
Yes, I mean, as long as you're willing to deal with the fallout,
right,
and recognize that it's just me venting, it's not an attack.
No, and I totally get it, and that's why it's going to be fun. Because you're not going to be like intentionally mean.
No, I'll be unintentionally mean, but not at you.
Maybe that's it. You'll be intentionally mean, but not at me. But yeah, like when you get to that point in a band where you're like, we're just gonna play music for a little bit. That's what I like. Being a musician and being in these situations where you have that flexibility to do something. It's cool to have that freedom, but then when you're in a concert situation where you're like, well, we're in our like fourth decade of playing this song. No one wants to hear anything different than what they heard on the album.
Right.
So it's interesting that some of this is a rebellion and some of this is, no, we need to do it the right way where everybody's going to like it.
And it also comes back to, and I think this is the part of Teenage Wildlife that is to the fans, I'm not some piece of Teenage Wildlife. I speculate, and again, it's backed up. So Wildlife is like, it comes from nowhere, right? Like just the wording of it. But what a lot of people think he's saying in this song is that this pain that you're using as an aesthetic and that you enjoy watching, again, I'm glad you like it. It doesn't come from nowhere. I'm not just some piece of Teenage Wildlife. I'm not Gary Newman. I'm not those assholes. And it's cool that you like them. I'm not going to take that away from you. But when you ask me to sing all of my greatest hits that come from this time period that are filled with absolute pain and dread, I need you to know that it is making me revisit some of that.
Huh. Yeah.
Which I'll do. I'll totally do it. I need you to just know, I don't need you to live the cost. I don't need you to feel bad. I don't need you to stop asking me to do it. I just want you to know that it doesn't come from nowhere.
Right. It's not, hey, I wrote some cool lyrics.
Right. And when it is that, I'll tell you. You know, it's like, I'll just go ahead and share a bit of a conversation that we've had, again, without a microphone, which I don't know why we didn't press record, but
my goodness, why?
When the frustration that I feel when like I'm expressing something usually political, but not always, where it's like, no, I actually feel this way and I feel very strongly about this. And I'm not asking you to agree with me. I'm just asking you to understand that this does come from somewhere and that I have thought it out, and that even if I'm wrong, I do mean it and it is meaningful to me. And then the piece that becomes difficult is that the way I express these things usually involves a dick joke, because that's just my process.
Right. And that's what people expect out of you.
Right. Which I'm
what
fine.
You were saying at the time. Yeah.
Right. Like, I'm fine with that. It's great that you recognize it, that you enjoy it. But then when it turns into, he he's just the weird guy or the funny guy on that one podcast. It's like, okay, yeah, but that's also kind of insulting to me.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. That's a character that you're using for this purpose.
Right. And I'm not saying,
and sometimes it's just your voice, that it doesn't have to be a character. You don't have to break things down into, oh, he's playing a part.
Right. And more often than not, that is where it comes from. I remember, like, not to make this about me, but it's an example. I remember, like, when we first met in person, it was really interesting. Like 20 minutes in, you were like, oh, you're just like this. Like, yeah.
Well, yeah, and some of those realizations, I'm like, oh, you used to be like, you were like a weightlifter, right? And you're like, oh, how did you know? I'm like I could tell that by your physical build. You were a weightlifter. You've got that type of body, and like that sort of thing. Yeah, it was one of the when we actually met and talked. And I hate, well, no, I don't hate to say this. Multiple people, including my wife, are like, oh, when I met Dan, he's really great.
They expect the, and I don't know what parts of myself I edit when we hit record. I'm not even aware that I do it, but I'm aware that it probably happens.
Yeah.
I don't know what parts I'm editing out. Apparently it's the nice parts.
Sometimes. I don't know. I've always found you very entertaining and interesting. But yeah, it's one of those things. Multiple people have said, oh, once I met Dan, I got it. And if you really dig into it, they can like nail down more about what that means to them.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But I think for them, I think for most people, it's like, oh, you like Dan. There's got to be something that appeals to you about Dan. And once they meet you in person, I think that closes the gap.
That's interesting. Well, if you would also like to like me, please pay us $2.
$1 for each of us. I'm sorry. I hope that wasn't insulting.
No. I never know how to carry on with when we go to anything approaching anything.
You opened that myself. Vein, and I'm like, well, let's dig into it.
Yeah. I know that does make sense though, because I wonder if part of it, and I'm tempted to edit this out, but also I don't think I will. I wonder how much of it is that realization of like, oh no, he's actually not like I think part of that calculation might be he's playing a character. Why would anyone choose to play that character? Oh, he's just that person.
But he's a very palatable version of that person. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's I don't take that as an insult at all.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, not at all. It does make sense to me. And I'm not some piece of teenage wildlife. So anyway, a lot for you to think about, including who is the action man and who is Major Tom. Do you want me to tell you? I can tell you.
Who's Major Tom? Oh. I'm going to have to watch some Venture Brothers. You ever watch that show?
Just the parts that I'm apparently supposed to because of the David Bowie
because it references David Bowie, and people are like, you have to watch this.
Yeah.
It's never mind that, like, what's his name? J.G. Thirlwell is just a massive musical talent.
I don't doubt it. It bumps up against attention span problems. I just don't.
Okay.
Because I usually get lost after the TV gets turned on. It's like, okay, no, there's something over here.
I was wondering if maybe you knew about him separately in his life as a electronic musician.
No, I'm a very bad musician in that I don't do or like the things that I'm supposed to. And it's not an act of rebellion. Like, I recognize that I'm profoundly bad at being a musician. Like playing that part. Right. Do you have anything to add before we finish this episode?
Bowie said a bad word in one of the songs. Scream like a baby.
He sure
He said a
does.
bad word.
Would you like to read the lyrics?
No, not
Okay.
right now.
Are you
That'll
sure?
leave for the next one where we talk about each of the songs. I'll bring it up again. He said a bad word.
He does say a bad word.
I'll also ask, who is Sam?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, can I give?
We're drawing out this episode.
I wanna. No, it's like I kind of want to share insights, but I don't want to color your re-listening too much.
Then leave them for later,
Okay.
and I'll give you a weird insight.
Okay.
It's not really an insight; it's more of a news story. How old was the kid? Where did it go? I had it up on my screen for so long. Maybe this is it. There we go. A 6-year-old girl. This has nothing to do with our show,
Perfect.
really. But a 6-year-old girl fell overboard on the Disney Dream today. She's fine. They rescued her. Everything's
I should
fine.
have asked. I feel bad that I didn't.
It's okay. The reason I'm bringing it up to you is because she fell overboard because her parent put her on a railing to take pictures of her.
Oh,
Yes. And she fell off the railing and almost died. She's fine.
huh. I feel less bad that I didn't ask because I feel like her parents didn't really care if they did that.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going, like, really?
But we need the picture.
Really?
But we need the picture.
You set your child on a railing and you backed up and took a picture, and there's probably a picture of your child falling overboard. You don't have to leave this in the show. I just wanted to bring that up to you.
I might not. Again, I have more time these days, so
Editing still sucks, no matter what.
Yeah. It kind of does.
Oh,
Yes.
speaking of which, do we need to do a Harrison comparison for our July 4th episode? Or has that joke gone up because one of those episodes had 7 downloads?
Yeah, let's not.
Okay.
Not. I think honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and hit stop recording. But before I do, so then I guess that's the show. Thank
Yes.
you for listening.
Yes,
Don't
we do a
forget
show.
To buy war bonds. Sabra hummus is the best hummus. If anyone needs to be told that.
And for the best silver, I choose silver.
Okay, thank you for listening. Eric and I are going to continue our conversation without the microphones being recorded, and who knows, that might just be confusing to us. We might not know how to deal with it. So we'll let you know in the next episode of Bowiesplaining.